All right, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy Kano, the brutally honest gamer, and welcome to a brand new gamer section interview. And without further ado, I'm gonna let him introduce himself. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, I'm Zahid Ali Jalani, and I'm the solo developer of Enenra. And yeah, that's me. I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get with these questions because there's a lot of questions I need to ask about this game right here. So, before
Yeah.
we get into that, we gotta get into the history of the games that you play. So, what type of hack and slash games that you love playing growing up?
So I played a lot of hack and slash games growing up. Devil May Cry
Hmm.
was like the first of many, but I don't know a lot of people remember Dragon God on the
Dragon
PS2.
Guard.
That's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I played a lot of that,
Yeah.
like the first and second Dragon God on the PS2,
Hmm.
and they were good hack and slash games. Not the best, but they were good. Um,
Hmm.
but then I think going forward from there, a lot of the good hack and slash games nowadays is like, which my game gets referenced to a lot, is Metal Gear Rising, and everybody's played
Hmm.
Metal Gear Rising now. For some reason, it's gained
Classic.
a lot of popularity. Yeah, um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I think those the mainly was Devil May Cry that started out for me.
Hmm.
But it was more that my older brother was playing it a lot on the
Right.
PS2. I think yeah, it
Hmm.
was PS2, and I didn't really get a chance to play it because I wasn't 18.
Hmm.
But I watched it, and it was pretty good until I actually managed to play it. And Devil May Cry 2, which was not that great.
Right. Right.
And then 3
Wow.
came
Wow.
along, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
3
So
was
like three was like the three was like that game that paved the way for you. Like
that that
the
that that was like, yep, that's what I want to do. Eventually, one day, hopefully, yeah,
very very soon. I see.
yeah.
But like, so like, what was the game? Like, what was the first game that you actually played that made you fall in love with gaming?
So I got into gaming pretty late. My first console was a PS2,
Hmm.
and I don't know if you remember a game called Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah, yeah, that's a classic.
Completely unrelated to what I'm doing now, but
Hmm.
because of that game, I played it again and again and again. I loved that game. The music and everything, the atmosphere, just can't be compared to nowadays.
Right,
The
right.
games of nowadays. So, Shadow of the Colossus, I loved.
Yeah, that game ended up being one of the biggest console sellers from Sony from back in the day.
Yeah, as a kid, I wanted to make a version of it,
Hmm.
where instead of these like organic giants, there would be like mechs, giant mechs instead, and you'd
Yeah.
be able to climb on them and all that. And then Horizon came out, and I thought, well, that's not happening.
Hmm. But if you think about it, there's like three games that had comparison, like Shadow of the Colossus and Castlevania Lords of Shadows, where you had to climb up and kill the monsters on top, and then
Yeah,
Horizon Zero Dawn. So it's like three of those games to compare. Wow,
yeah, yeah. That was
think
what I
about
originally wanted, but
it. Hmm.
now we're sticking to the Devil May Cry style.
I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah.
So like, so like, how did you get into game development though?
So I got into game development actually pretty late.
Hmm.
Like I've only been working on games for the last year and a half. Probably I've been working on my own game for about 2 years, but then I went to uni before that. But I got into game development itself. I was working just normal retail jobs, and then
Hmm.
I started studying game development. And
Hmm.
when I finished uni, I was trying to apply for jobs, and I wasn't getting any. Um, so I started working on this project now in Enra,
Hmm.
and then I applied for a job. I got the job, and that's yeah, that's exactly how it happened.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So people may wonder what that job is, but you can't say it's under the street. You can't say jack about it right now.
I could say what where I work. I work at Ninja Theory as a combat designer on Hellblade 2. Can't say more than that. I can't say I love it. It is a dream. It is a dream. It is
Right,
the
right.
dream. But I
Hmm.
can't say more than that.
All right. Hey, hey, you don't have to say anymore. You ain't got to say anymore. We
Yeah,
understand. We understand.
yeah.
So, so like, besides, like, this is actually the first game you actually worked on. You haven't worked on any other game besides this one and the one at Ninja Theory right now.
When I was in uni, I was working on a few games, but they were like education development games.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, officially, no games at all. And Enra is actually literally my first game I'm working on.
Okay, okay, I definitely feel that. Definitely feel that. So, on to the title that you're working on right now, like your title that you've been working on. So, like, what is the background story of this game? Like, what is the setting? Where does this game take place?
It takes place in future Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the story, there is a story. I've made sure not to spoil it for anyone, but it's a very, I guess, personal story where it involves a lot of family relationships,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess there's that similarities with Dante and his brother Virgil,
Mm-hmm.
where in this game there's also a character and his brother Yusuna.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so without spoiling it too much, this I originally said it's set in future Japan. There's going to be a lot more than just future Japan. I think I put a teaser at the end of one of my trailers of what's coming, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to spoil anymore.
Yeah, yeah, you don't,
Yeah,
you don't give too much away. I definitely
yeah.
understand, definitely understand. But people might want to know, like, who is the protagonist in the game? Like, what's this person's name in particular?
He's actually already in the build you can try. The
Mm-hmm.
main bad guy is the brother of the main character. His name's
Mm-hmm.
Yasuna,
Mm-hmm.
which I roughly translates to excellent in Japanese
Right,
because he's just in his fighting style, in the way he acts, and everything. He's just excellent, perfect,
right,
and
right.
you just can't beat him.
For sure, for sure. So, like, within this game in particular, right? So, is this more in a linear style game going through like in chapter base, or is it open world? You know, to the people that want to know, you know.
Originally, it was meant to be like a Metroidvania, where
Mm-hmm.
you'd have like a hub world and be able to move between different levels, but working on that kind of system on my own proved pretty difficult. So I've now stuck to just a level-based game. So there'll be
Right.
like chapters and levels in them.
Mm-hmm.
With the levels, they will have like some exploration
Mm-hmm.
um, within the levels themselves. So it won't be like, oh, I can go to a different area. It'll be like you're in that level and there's hidden paths and hidden areas.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually it will open up. It won't be open world necessarily, but it will be like you'll have massive levels
Mm-hmm.
to be able
Kind
to
of like
fly
semi,
across.
kind of like
Yes,
not
like
semi.
semi-open world.
Okay.
So you can just like fly about, and I say fly about, but it's more like pushing that teleport traversal system even further than it is.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a giant open world, and that feeling that you can like burst yourself forward and then hop off the ground and burst off again, and just being able to
Right.
do that, it feels really good. I haven't
Mm-hmm.
shown it, I haven't shown much of it, but it feels really good.
I can't wait to see more that you're bringing to the table with this game. It's very exciting.
Yeah,
You know, very exciting.
thank you, man.
No problem, man. So, like, what type of weapons are actually in the game in particular? Like swords or nunchucks? Like, what type of weapons are in the game?
It's purely katanas.
Mm-hmm.
When I started, I did like guns, spears, katana, shields,
Mm-hmm.
everything. And I quickly realized adding that many weapons and that many different things doesn't make
Right,
the
right.
game better. And at the time, I was like talking to my friends about Sekiro, and in Sekiro, you use one weapon, more or less, it's the katana, and then add-ons. And
Mm-hmm.
that got me thinking, I should have that one weapon, and then add-ons, because that means you can really concentrate on that one weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but then I quickly realized that that one weapon could be limited, so there will be the katana and the dual katanas, and that's it.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Like within the katanas and stuff like that, does it have armor too, where you can upgrade armor in katanas, like upgradable stature into the game?
Nothing like that yet. I was thinking of having a little mini game, depending on if people wanted it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it would just add time to the development. It's like building your own katana,
Mm-hmm.
adding whatever stuff you'd like to the actual katana, and having like a little mini game. But there's no armor, or most of the changes in costume are cosmetics or your weapons themselves. They're purely cosmetic at the moment. I haven't looked
Mm-hmm.
too much into it to see if there is a big demand for like customization that directly alter the stats.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe I'll throw a poll up on Twitter and see if people are interested in that.
Okay.
What do you
So
think, Ano?
honestly, I think it should have a little bit of elements of changes with cosmetics, but at the same time, I think it should be authentic of his own self. If you get
Yeah,
what I'm saying, I think
yeah,
it
yeah.
should have the or have the authenticity actually in the game. But it would be cool to add the elements. But like, do you consider this game having more like RPG elements, or just like going straight
No,
through each story?
I don't. see it as much of an RPG game, more of like an action hack and slash game where
Mm-hmm.
your skills reign supreme rather than leveling up something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you will be able to unlock abilities, but all those abilities do will help you look cooler and unlock better abilities essentially. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm gonna go for the whole RPG style. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
upgradable health and unlockable armor, for example, for that level.
Mm-hmm.
But not too heavy, systems heavy, not too like number heavy gameplay.
For sure. So, like within the gameplay aspect of, we know that it's fast paced and it's a hack and slash. So, like, what type of combo animations does it have in the game, or like special moves of like special abilities? Does it have more like a special abilities also?
Yeah, so currently I've reworked the whole combat system from what it was last week, and now it's completely changed. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I've made it so that you can dash at any point. Like the dash is very interrupts everything without fail.
Mm-hmm.
So you can dash in any direction. If you're locked on, if you're locked off, if you're focusing on one enemy, it does not matter. Wherever you push, you'll dash.
Okay.
Um, so it makes sense in that way. I've made it so that it splits off the two trees. Is like if you're locked on to a target, you gain access to all your attacks. You can launch
Mm-hmm.
the enemy, you can attack them in the air, you can do all sorts when you're locked on. And when you're
Mm-hmm.
locked off, that's where you get the free flow system. So you can bounce between different enemies and move about really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I realized when doing that free flow and jumping about, holding back and forward on the analog stick, like it altered the direction of the enemies you wanted to go into. So it
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't make sense. It did not work. So that's why I brought pause combos in instead. So there's no
Mm-hmm.
forward press to change combos. Tap 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 tap, like tap pause tap tap tap. Um, the animations change in honesty like every week.
Right.
So I do want them to be like one combo is area of effect. So big winding slash. One combo is a slam kind of finisher where it makes one enemy get suffer a lot of damage,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other combo which is another area attack, but a lot more damage, so a little harder to do. Originally, I added some crazy combos where you would like do an omni slash,
Yeah.
yeah, the omni slash thing, and then
Mm-hmm.
jump to the end, slam down, and then I did the other one where you would pick up the enemy zigzag and slam down. But that was all learning process.
Mm-hmm.
When I got it into people's hands, it was just
That's
it.
dope.
Yeah, they said it felt cosmetic. It didn't do anything. It didn't change the gameplay or anything. It's just yeah, it looks fancy, but it felt like
Mm-hmm.
that's all it is. So I went for a more yeah. This is more meaningful. The things you do have more meaning to them.
Mm-hmm.
But the powers
So
you've oh sorry
no. Continue on. I apologize.
sorry.
Bless you. Bless you.
There's that sword slash, the wave slash when you're in the air and slash
Mm-hmm.
the air. It picks up the enemy so that you can like move forward towards them. And then there's the sword throw, and
Mm-hmm.
that was like a very big favorite of all the videos and YouTube videos of everybody playing the game. They use the sword throw a lot. However,
Mm-hmm.
I made the sword throw like last year sometime, and
Mm-hmm.
I haven't looked back into it. But because it's such a favorite, and people love throwing this sword which slows down the enemy, that particular enemy it hits.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna relook into it and make it so that if you launch the enemy and then throw the sword, they get stuck there.
Mm-hmm.
And make it much longer. So once they're stuck, they be up another enemy and then go back up to the other enemy. So you can move around on a better plane rather than just the ground. Go back up as well. So there's all that
Cool.
funkiness.
Cool. So it's like what you're basically saying is they got different type of abilities. Like, what about the kill animations? Do we have like different kill animations, or just like you just kill and then move on?
Not so when the enemy has like a small amount of health left,
Mm-hmm.
if you're locked on and you go up to them, you can execute them. And previously it meant nothing, it just looked cool. But now
Mm-hmm.
it actually means that you gain some health back because there's no other way to gain health at the moment. So right
Mm-hmm.
now, execute an enemy, you get your health back. And I
Mm-hmm.
thought not too souls likey, but like in moments where there's like bosses, that option's not
Mm-hmm.
available because you can't execute them. So you have to rely on your skills more than anything. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a odd health idea that I'm working on, but I will flesh it out. There's loads of executions. I even put in an aerial execution or finisher where he does the Azuna drop.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty difficult to actually get in. That was really difficult because it was like they're in the air, you're killing them in the air, and then you have to grab them, and drop them. It was pretty
Mm-hmm.
complicated. But yeah, I'm gonna add as many finishes as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and eventually have a new system where the enemies have stamina. So when you're doing your free flow, if they run out of stamina, for example, from attacking or blocking, you
Mm-hmm.
can go straight into a finisher on them. Would say Y and B if I've got controllers would like YB, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so there's a few ideas coming. So the combat system is now simplified for everyone, and then it's a little deep for people who want to lock on and have that Devil May Cry S combat. But then
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make it a little more deeper and accessible,
Mm-hmm.
but do it gradually, getting feedback, getting the game tested.
Most definitely. So like, okay, does it have more like wall? Are you able to wall run, do climbing abilities in the game, or is just kind of like straightforward?
So the teleport system is actually really simple. It's you teleport to a point,
Mm-hmm.
whatever that point is, wherever it is, it'll do everything for you. So if you teleport to a wall, you'll wall run in the
Mm-hmm.
in the designated direction. You're looking. So and if you do it over like a pole, you'll pole vault, or you do it on the wires, you'll do the grab. And I just came up with it because I thought I hate the idea of traveling from one combat arena to another by just walking.
Right.
It's
Mm-hmm.
it's it's like I love Devil May Cry, but I am going to say that sometimes the bits between each fight
Mm-hmm.
can get a little tedious because of just walking, waiting for Nero to start running,
Mm-hmm.
and then fighting again. So I thought it's not a heavy emphasis on parkour. It's a fun way to get from one place to another, and that's it. So,
Right. Right.
and it is fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. But the key question is, like what engine are you actually using for this game?
I'm still using Unreal 4, and
Unreal Engine 4?
yeah, I'm still back in the past. It's purely because of a specific animation thing where you can
Mm-hmm.
alter animations and apply the animation. I don't know how to do it in Unreal 5. I will figure it out. Once I do, I'll be straight in there. But I have
Mm-hmm.
tested it in Unreal 5. I have it does run. It runs fine. Everything looks great. It's
Mm-hmm.
just that one thing. It's just what if somebody were to tell me, I'd be like, boom, I'm in. That's it.
No, for sure, for sure. So people know that you are a solo developer right as of right now, but do you consider yourself like establishing your own studio in the future?
I have my own studio now. I've registered the company
Mm-hmm.
and all the paperwork's done, everything's ready to go. It's called Strive Studios, and I'm hoping that that would be like what I use to push the game through.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of people have probably played the build and seen that logo pop up, and they're like, "Oh, what's this?"
Mm-hmm.
It's not anything at the moment. It's just the company I registered. My friend made a nice logo, commissioned a nice logo, and then when it does start picking up, hopefully this will be the thing that gets me through it.
We already know this game is going to pick up like hot water. You heard me?
Uh,
It's going to pick up very well to the point where a lot of publishers are going to reach out to you wanting to manufacture the game for you because right now, this game is starting to actually build a buzz,
yeah,
and I appreciate you taking your time out to actually so I could conduct this interview because as soon as this game drops, like reach more, have more of a reach, it's going to get
yeah,
to the point where say everybody going to come left and right for an interview down the road.
yeah. I mean, it has been getting pretty popular. Not, I wouldn't say popular. Like I have some friends whose games are
Hmm.
just blowing up massively. So mine's, I'd say it's steadily getting there, and it's nice. But the amount of messages that do come through sometimes is just I can't compete with it. I can't read anything or everything. Um, and the thing is, I enjoy developing games. I enjoy making my games.
Hmm.
So I like to spend my time sitting here, blast some music. My housemates hate it, and then just get some works done. And there's always
Hmm.
messages coming through with questions. So I'd say this interview is a good way to answer a lot of questions as well.
Most definitely, most
So,
definitely.
yeah,
Like, what is the soundtrack behind this game? Like, what type of music is going to be behind this game here?
it's I'm hoping to get it different types of music. Which is actually an interesting point. I've been working on this like adaptive music system based on the combo score.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine each time you increase your combo grade, there
Mm-hmm.
is a different layer added on as the
Mm-hmm.
song progresses, and then
Mm-hmm.
when it hit like S rank or the last rank, it's like crazy and it's blaring in your ears and sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
The system's working and everything's ready to go. It's just I can't make music. I have been talking to a few composers to get some music going. I can't make music to save my life, but if I were to get funding, then I would boom straight in there, come out with the best tracks. It's always going to
Mm-hmm.
be drum and bass. Going to get some dubstep in there, and I'd say like EDM, a lot of electronic music, but
Mm-hmm.
also I really like pianos. I really, really love pianos, and I
Mm-hmm.
would like a piano and a saxophone mixed with some sort of drum and bass electronic music, and just make it really unique. Sounds
Right,
weird,
right.
but I think it could really work. Um, so I'm hoping it'll be very pumpy music, get you going, get the blood flowing. Not too rock like Devil May Cry. I think that's a bit too much for me.
Oh, it's understandable. Definitely understandable. Like, have you ever thought about doing a Kickstarter for this game?
When I started the game was originally called Tempest.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and tried to do a Kickstarter. Now a lot of people don't know about this actually. And that flopped. That they said, you know what, we're not even going to launch your Kickstarter. You need more substance to it. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, okay, safe. That's not an issue. So since then, I've just been building the game, building the game, building the game. I haven't considered Kickstarter or anything since. It's just like when the game feels good, I'll consider it. And I think I've been stuck in that hole where I'm like, I need to constantly improve it to a point where it's really good, where it feels good, and there's a big chunk done, and then start a Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
But I think eventually I will start one just to see how it goes down, if people are interested. But if they're not, it's fine still.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely, most definitely. So, like, I know this game is far down the road before it's like released, but like,
Yeah.
when do you expect like this game to be released? In your opinion?
Originally, I hoped it would be September this year,
Mm-hmm.
but because there was so much back and forth and so much feedback given, and I really want to listen to people's feedback. I want people to enjoy the game rather
Mm-hmm.
than enjoy what I'm making for myself, kind of thing. No, I want people to enjoy it. Originally, it was September. I think it may be pushed to the next year, like mid next year, if I'm lucky.
Yeah. As long as the game is in development and it's progressing well, that's all that matters. It
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
matter when it's released, as long as the game is great and in great shape. You know.
yeah, yeah. I do believe that if it's a
Mm-hmm.
good experience, that the time used on it it shouldn't matter too much. It's like No Man's Sky. They released a
Mm-hmm.
quick game and became amazing.
For sure. So, key question. This is like the final question I'm asking you. This is the multi-billion-dollar question. So, why should people why should people want to play this actual game?
um, I think it's because there's a topic that I want to talk about story wise and through gameplay,
Mm-hmm.
about growth and people learning how to overcome certain things. And I don't think a lot of games talk about it through these kind of games, hack and slash games. But I believe that because of the character's aggression and it's a hack and slash game, it's a perfect
Mm-hmm.
platform for people to understand that what I'm trying to get across is showing a character's growth through their life, through these characters, through these people.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it'll resonate with a lot of people. Well, a few people will understand it.
Right. Most definitely. Most
Yeah, it'll
definitely.
hit them. It'll hit them.
Mm-hmm. So, like, where can they actually find you at on social media?
I've got Twitter, which is just an Enenra game, or
Mm-hmm.
that handle there's Zaid Ali Jalani. That's my personal one. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
on Insta, it's Zahid Games, and on I think that's it. No, I've got TikTok, which is an Enenra game as well.
Okay.
So it's either Zahid Games or an Enenra game or Zahid Ali Jalani. Um, I should really find out.
It's all good, but like also the link will be in the description below for where y'all can go follow him, go harass him about the game because everybody want to play the game and see more of the game. So yeah, but definitely go ahead and follow him on the social medias. Like I said, link will be in the description below. And like I said, there you have it, folks. This has been a brand new interview from the gamer section. Make sure y'all go ahead and follow this individual here and support the game that he's working on right now. It's going to be lit when it's released. Everybody, their mom's going to play it. But oh yeah, I forgot though. The question I forgot. I forgot about this question. Like, what platforms will this game be on?
I will try getting it out on everything if I can. If
even,
everything, even Switch,
even Xbox One, PS4.
if I can, and I feel like I could because of it's not very demanding. It can run pretty low settings, but I believe that the Xbox One and PS4 could do a pretty good job. I just need them to send me a dev kit. Sony, Xbox, you listening?
Yeah, they most likely going to hear this, but it's coming. It's coming. So there y'all have it, folks. This has been another interview, though. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell for when we drop more content on this channel, and follow us on all of our social media at Gamer Section. We're going to leave it on that note. We out. Peace.